Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This daily recaps for Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. I'm going to start with my market breadth indicators and going through these a little bit more in detail. There was a shift today. Yesterday on my video, I said I was kind of in no man's land. Didn't know if the market was going to go up or going to go down. But it wouldn't surprise me if we were up 400 points or down 400 points. I just felt like a big move was coming. And we got a pretty decent sized move today, especially in the NASDAQ mega caps. And some of my market breadth indicators for momentum turned bullish. But my trend breadth indicators are still bearish, which means we're still in a mixed market. Whereas before, I was thinking we were still in a pullback, waiting to see if we'd go back up. Now we have bullish momentum, and I'm waiting to see if we go back down. Again, there's no clear signals yet, and I'm still undecided. But I'll go through these market breadth indicators a little bit more detailed tonight, just so you guys can understand what I'm trying to do here. So this is the first set of indicators: bullish at the top, bearish at the bottom. And what I look for to see are the bullish indicators greater than the bearish. It lets me know which way the wind is blowing. And when you get these mixed indicators, that means I sit out. My money comes in bunches. I don't trade every day. I wait for everything to look bearish, and then I'll go short, or I wait for everything to bullish, and then I go long. With that being said, let's go through these. These first three indicators are daily indicators, meaning this is what's going on for just today. So stocks above 4% versus stocks below 4%. They were either up 4% or down 4%. This is bullish, 3-1. Stocks with over 100 million in dollar volume for the day, up 3% versus down 3%. 20-1 bullish. Big outperformance by the more liquid stocks. 52-week highs versus 52-week lows. This is slightly bearish to a push. This is stocks up 25% in a quarter versus down 25% in a quarter. This is bullish now. This flipped today as well. Stocks up 25% in a month versus down 25% in a month. This is still bearish. Stocks above the 50-day moving average versus below, bearish. These next ones are kind of more what I call trend indicators versus momentum indicators. Stocks above the 200-day moving average versus below the 200-day moving average, bearish. And if you can't tell by my charts, I'm a big fan of moving averages and the RSI. So again, these first two are definitely momentum. The next ones are more trend following. So with an RSI 2 above 70, versus an RSI 2 below 30, this flipped from bearish to bullish. RSI 5 period versus above 70 versus below 30, this is now bullish. Long-term moving averages on the 15-minute charts, this is bearish. This one's a trend following indicator. RSI above 70 versus RSI below 30. This is slightly bullish to a push. The 10-day moving average above the 20 versus 10-day average below the 20. This is bearish. RSI daily over 50 or below 50. Bearish. RSI weekly above 50 versus below 50. Bearish. Although this gap was closed. So the trend still seems to be bearish, but the momentum is bullish. So could you say we're in a downtrend with a counter-trend rally? I guess that's kind of where I'm at, unless I see some more follow-through to the upside and break out to, we'll need to break out to all-time highs, but we could just start to be in a trading range. So I'm sitting out. Let's look at the market stocks. The big 8 and the VTI. I mean, Apple still below the 50. Big push up. We'll see if it can get past the 50, maybe fill this gap. Amazon holding the 50, still below the 20. If we get a big red candle tomorrow like this, that's going to turn from, what looks bullish to bearish. Google hit an all-time high today, but pulled back slightly. Facebook bounced up, hitting right at the 20 and the 50. Stopped right there. See if we get any sort of follow-through. Microsoft still below the 50, riding the 100-day moving average. Netflix stopped right at the 50. I know people don't like to have moving averages on their charts, but it's kind of strange to me that the price action kind of stops or finds support at moving averages quite a bit, more often than it to be coincidental. NVIDIA looks like it's going to be a breakout. This was a good buy today, good setup today for NVIDIA. See if it gets a follow through. Tesla stops right at the 50. Right at the 50-day moving average, like exactly. I think they're helpful. When it pulls back here, hits the 20 and then goes. Tesla falls, bounces up to the 50. Again, we'll see if it gets a follow through, but if it goes and turns right back down, hits its head right on the 50 and this support zone, or which would be resistance zone at this point. VTI got back above all the moving averages. So that's promising. This is, the total stock market. That this was a good breath day, a wide breath day. A lot of stocks moved up today. Let's go to the summation index. So this is the SPY on the weekly. 5 is still below the 10, but price is now above both. T20 108, stocks above their 40-day moving average, has gone down below 30 and now has moved back up to 38%. So this looks like a good time to buy stocks. It's not below 20, which is load the boat time. But this looks like we could rally. So on this chart, the T20 2108 firming up, at the upper 20s. The weekly RSI not falling below 50. The VIX not spiking above 20. All this, that is all bullish. And says we just went through a pullback. The breadth hasn't caught up with this yet. And that's kind of the wind that gets in the sails, in my opinion, fills the sails. But these things have, kept me from not going short. And now this looks like we're going to bounce. This looks like we're going to bounce. This looks like we're going to bounce. VIX not spiking looks like we're going to bounce. Let's check the NASDAQ. I can never type that in right. QX. NASDAQ got above, the 5 and the 10 week. RSI, pulls back to 54, and now it's bouncing up. Got a nice cup and handle potentially if we keep moving higher to 16,000. VIX has not spiked. Stotch. The Stotch, when the signals cross, it's nice to see momentum, but I want to see where it pulls back to. See how it pulls back to about 50 here? Goes back up. Falls below 50, we go into a bear market or, bearish momentum. We get a bounce. Notice how the RSI in the weekly never goes above 50. It goes right to 50 and then falls. Same thing with the Stoch. Goes right up to 50 and falls. On the bearish momentum side, we pull back we dip just below 50 on the RSI weekly, and then we rally. Stoch doesn't fall below 50, pulls back right to about 50, right where we're at right about now. Same thing with the RSI. It wouldn't surprise me if we go higher, not at all. And I'll go bullish if I can get, a little bit better momentum and a little bit more of my situational awareness indicators to turn bullish. I just do what the market these are just roadmaps. These are street signs. These are street signals. And I just do what they tell me. Oh, let's check the daily. On the NASDAQ, you've got this resistance zone now that's a little bit higher. It's gotten back above the 10 and the 20. RSI 21 is back above 50. Stoch has gone from oversold to now back above 50. T2108 rising. Let's check the VTI. Same thing. This is very strong today. Back above the 10 and the 20. So we could just kind of, use this range as support, this range as resistance. I still looks like a nice head and shoulders forming, but that's just a pattern. That's not scripture to trade off of. But VIX is at 14. That is bullish. I mean, volatility is nowhere near picking up right now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we get this CPE report on Thursday, and that just makes everything tank. But we didn't tank with Powell. He said he's going to be higher for longer. No man's land. All right, we'll check the IPOs and the power stock scan. DBD still number one. I think this is a buyout, but I didn't check. UOBI, that I don't like that candle. PFIE just took off. I mean, no dollar volume, $2 stock. This is, for small accounts, but that's a great breakout. THRN, that's a buyout. CAMT broke out. Broke out this day, never closed below the 5, just went up a few days, went sideways, and boom, on big volume for this. That's bullish. In the power zone on the weekly. It's a bullish stock. CLS looks like it's trying to break out over this high. Volume's picking up, even though it's 2 million. It's picking up. STRL consolidated. Would not be surprised for this to just pop. VRT rising. This is, grinding higher. APP popped and then pulled back, still a little bit above this breakout zone. TSHA, this is a great pop on a, garbage stock. Notice how much the volume's picking up here. It's been in, it's a beat up stock. It's been in a downtrend for a long, long time. 2021. This could run. USM, this was a great breakout that I pointed out yesterday. Got follow through at 8%. That'll work. AAOI, I thought this was going to tank. It's got to get below the 20. Bounced off the 20 and up now. See what happens. This is consolidating even though it's a wide range. TSAT bouncing off the 10, consolidating. ANF, that looks strong. This is very strong. That's a buy. Again, don't place a trade based on what I say, but these are just my opinions. TA or ANF looks very good. No dollar volume on this, but that's a nice breakout. KRT consolidating, NPCE just going straight up. Holo pulled back. Look at this. Look where it pulled back to. And just touched and then went higher. Look at the 5-day EMA. It literally touched it perfectly. Almost like there was buy orders at the 5-day EMA to keep it from falling any further. Again, you don't need to be a fan of moving averages, but this can't be coincidental when you see it over and over and over again. Powell, this is consolidating, rising. Looks like it's trying to break out to me. Not a setup though, but Court, that's a buy. OA consolidating above the 5. DAKT just riding the 5 and the 10. CLH, that's a buy, that's a breakout. That's nice right there. Nice consolidation, closes on the breakout. See how it keeps getting higher, riding the 5 and the 10. Check it on the weekly. It's in the power zone. It's just, there's some good stocks. I mean, I'm starting to get excited to go long. I was excited to go short, and we just didn't fall. I'm excited to go long here. I'm still waiting, so watch us start pulling back. TDS, this was a nice buy yesterday if you bought it. Big run, pulls back to the 10. Bounces off the 10, you get a follow through of 7, almost 8%. XPO, I wouldn't buy this here, but that looks like it can move higher. Same thing with TTI. I mean, I'm seeing some good setups now. I mean, they're on lower dollar volume stocks, smaller stocks. If the big ones get moving, I mean, NVIDIA, this is a buy today, in my opinion. See if we can get above 500 tomorrow. And NVIDIA is the strongest stock in the market. REKR, that's a buy. Moves up, goes sideways, consolidates for 2 days, and boom. On above average volume. Let's check the weekly. Yep, in the power zone now. Beat up stock, and now it's coming out. Moving averages are now in alignment in a bullish uptrend. Hawkin, this was a good buy yesterday. Got a follow through. Low ADR, low dollar volume. Again, I'm just looking at the patterns. I've expanded the dollar volume criteria just so there's more stocks to look at. But I don't trade these small illiquid stocks. It's really hard to size up on those. Well, I don't size up on those. The spreads are big. And TAST pulls back, holding the 20 for now. Rover, low dollar volume, $6 stock, but look at this thing squeeze. I'd put, a stop buy at 6. What's the high today? 660, maybe 665. Let's look at it on the weekly. Nice flag. That's definitely a potential. Carvana, got an up day, 4.5%. We'll see if it can get above 50 and hold it. Or if it kind of hits this range here at 52, 53, and then goes kaput. HNRG, that's an ugly candle, but still above the 5. AMX, this seems to be going up. Big, solid uptrend. No dollar volume, $4 stock, but that's pretty. Pass. ELF, back. Big update. For 9% for the stock's a big update. Right back to, close to the all-time highs on larger than average volume. These are people buying the stock back. Again, 50, 50, 50, 50. I mean, it just hold the 50 is held. I thought for sure it broke this day. We could maybe get a double top and have it roll over with the market if, the market decides to do that as well. Again, there's no clear direction yet. H-kit, that's broken. God, got all the way back down to 15 for the low. Look at this. Yeah, that's definitely a sell. Iron, riding the 20. Groupon pulling back to the 10. CDLX, that if that would have closed at the high, that'd be a great breakout. A little bit lower dollar volume than I like. I like 50 million. This is at 11. Beat up stock. Has a run, pulls back, runs again, pulls back. See if it can break out. Fastly. Sloppy trader, but moving higher. AMR coal grinding higher. Pass on ACMR. Getting in the low dollar volume now. Well, that one's good. Well, this is ONTO. Look how it gets real tight. All the movie averages get tight. Then big volume, or for this stock, big volume bar, and boom. Not quite in the power zone, but that's a breakout. Yes. Breaking out. IONQ, this I don't like this pattern here. Even though that was a former runner. X pulling back to the 10. Nice range expansion. It's only 3% though. It's not on big volume for the day. Twink. Okay, Hostess. Yeti. That looks like it's going to break out. Tiger, this was big earnings today. This is a pivot from bearish to bullish now. These types of setups can definitely run. Large volume, up 28%. And these are when a stock goes from bullish to a big uptrend for a long time, it does this. I mean, look at this. It's gone from 30 down to 4, and it's been basing for a year and a half, and then you get this kind of candle on really good earnings, big volume. That stock can run for a while. I'm actually feeling a little under the weather today. I'm fighting a cold here, so I'm just gonna kind of rush through these. XPEV ugly, but still moving higher. Tesla, great. I mean, this is, that line's in the way, but bonking its head right on the 50. But great, I thought it kind of was. You could kind of maybe consider this a little flag, and I actually thought it would pop, and it did. We'll see if it gets any follow through though. I mean, we had a big update, big breath update today. If we just fall back tomorrow, I mean, that's the stay out. Stay out until the breath changes. And the futures are down a little bit. I mean, it doesn't mean anything at this time, but they're not up. Yeah, these are. We're back. I just wanted to show you guys this last one, VNF. Was it VFN? Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for it on the IPO list. The Tesla at Vietnam. Been a big runner since its IPO, and I think I'm gonna put this to after hours as well. See if we can find it here. I guess we'll do the IPOs. Big day for Bitcoin with the Grayscale news that they can use a Bitcoin ETF. Kava looks like it's basing. KNF, that looks like it's moving up. GAUG, this is a nice, IPO opening week breakout, but no dollar volume. Bougia, no dollar volume. Here it is, VFS. Down 45%. 150% up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big down day. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if this thing went down to $10. I mean, you see this blow off top candle. I mean, you better be taking 90% of your profits when you go up 150% in 6 days. And you get that type of candle, like sell 90% if you just want to hold one share, but that is profit taking time. Anyway, sorry, I'm fighting off a cold right now. Waiting to see, if we get a follow through on this momentum shift. Again, the trend is still down in my opinion, but we are getting a counter trend rally or bullish momentum. See if it carries us to all-time highs or we just chop around and go down. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe.